The music industry has plenty of chart toppers, but only one artist consistently rewrites the rulebook on how far a superstar will go for her fans. Taylor Swift doesn't just break sales records, she breaks the invisible wall between stage and crowd, turning strangers into trusted friends. Tonight, we're pulling back the curtain on 10 moments that prove she might be pop's closest thing to a fairy godmother. It all starts with a holiday legend Swifties call Swiftmas. Back in 2014, as the rest of us scrolled through gift guides, Taylor was scrolling Tumblr dashboards, quietly studying the quirks of 32 unsuspecting fans. She noted a favourite bookstore here, a beloved cat meme there, then vanished into wrapping paper and ribbon for weeks. On Christmas morning, those fans opened front door boxes bulging with personalised treasures, hand-knit scarves, rare vinyl, even tuition checks, each topped off with a handwritten note that felt like it was penned by an old friend. Phones shook, tears flowed, and the internet caught fire. But that surprise delivery was only the prologue to her most heart-melting feats. Fast forward to December 2024. Most artists finishing a stadium tour collapse into private jets and blackout curtains. Taylor chose fluorescent hospital lights instead. She slipped into Children's Mercy Hospital in Kansas City, greeting kids who'd memorized eras to her set lists from their beds. She signed songbooks, laughed at knock-knock jokes, and listened, really listened, to stories about IV poles and missed birthdays. One little girl raved about Taylor's mint green Miu Miu skirt suit. 3 days later, that exact outfit, retail priced north of $5,000, landed on the girl's doorstep with a note that simply read, "Keep shining." Headlines called it generous. Families called it hope. Yet even that hospital hallway magic was just the next stepping stone. Rewind to a wedding that nearly wasn't. Max Singer married his bride Kenya in a hospital room so his dying mother could share one final dance to blank space. After her passing, the family planned a bigger celebration, but grief hung heavy. Max's sister Ali wrote Taylor a heartfelt letter, never expecting an answer. Instead, Taylor herself walked through the reception doors, guitar in hand. She serenaded the couple with an acoustic blank space, then handed them a watercolor card inscribed with the promise, "So it's gonna be forever." Guests froze, jaws dropped, and even the venue staff forgot to blink. And believe it or not, the surprises were only warming up. Long before the world streamed a single note of 1989, a handful of fans were already humming every lyric from memory. That's because Taylor invited them straight into her living rooms, plural. Over the course of several secret sessions, she quietly flew groups of 89 hand-picked devotees to Los Angeles, New York, Nashville, Rhode Island, even London. Picture it, strangers stepping over her welcome mat, greeted by the smell of freshly baked chocolate chip cookies and the sound of her cat skittering across hardwood. She cued the album on a house speaker, curled up on the sofa with them, and watched their unfiltered reactions like a scientist observing a miracle. The playlist ended, but the night didn't. Fans left clutching Polaroids, homemade goodie bags, and the kind of story you can't buy with any VIP pass. Listening parties are common. An international scavenger hunt ending in the artist's own kitchen is not. Yet even that cozy masterstroke was merely the appetizer for her next act. Money can't buy happiness, the saying goes, but it can erase a nightmare invoice, and Taylor has made a habit of vaporizing those numbers. When graphic design student Rebecca opened her mailbox, she found not another late fee notice, but an envelope stuffed with $1,989, exactly the tuition gap she'd been stressing over, plus a note thanking her for painting the internet gold. The pattern kept repeating. $15,000 to Sadie's family while her mum lay in a coma, $25,000 to Victoria so she could trade 2 minimum wage jobs for a mathematics degree at Warwick. In 2024 alone, public filings show her charitable trail climbing past $6.5 million, much of it routed through casual PayPal pings and GoFundMe donations she never announced. To her, the transfer fee is just another guitar pick. To those students and families, it felt like a lottery they never entered. And just when spreadsheets started to look like her superpower, she changed the game again, this time with an unexpected knock on the door. Stephanie was juggling a newborn, a mound of laundry, and the kind of exhaustion only new parents know, when a black SUV eased into her Connecticut driveway. Out stepped Taylor, arms full of presents. A kid-sized Mercedes, a trunk of onesies, and a grin that said, "Surprise! I kept the promise we made online 3 years ago." They posed for photos, swapped baby tips, and for one afternoon, the Barnetts' living room became the centre of the Swiftiverse. Similar scenes popped up during the Reputation era, whether in Ohio basements or Australian backyards, always unannounced, always personal. Each visit blurred fame's velvet rope until it disappeared entirely. Admirers called them house calls, cynics called them strategy. The families simply called them unforgettable. Still, Taylor wasn't done rewriting fan artist physics. When Delaney Clemens was battling neuroblastoma, her greatest wish was to meet the woman whose songs turned hospital nights into 3-minute vacations. Taylor walked into Delaney's room in a simple sweater, sat bedside, and sang until monitors faded into background beeps. Delaney's smile that afternoon became a viral snapshot of pure adrenaline and peace colliding. Similar scenes played out for dozens of Make-A-Wish kids in nearly 50 countries. Sometimes she slipped in quietly. Other times she wrote check, like the $100,000 she funneled into pediatric cancer research after penning Ronan, a lullaby-turned battle cry inspired by a 4-year-old gone too soon. Headlines framed these moments as charity, but parents saw something harder to quantify, an A-list shield against despair. And just when observers thought they had her kindness mapped, she flipped the script with a stealth tactic fans nicknamed Taylurking. Imagine logging onto Tumblr to rant about a breakup, only to find Taylor Swift in your DMs recommending a revenge playlist she curated just for you. Sinead did. She'd stood outside BBC Radio 1 for 20+ hours, teeth chattering, when a publicist plucked her from the crowd, whispering, "Taylor saw your post." Minutes later, she was laughing with the singer about cat memes. Another night, hundreds of pink, glitter-splattered Valentine's cards postmarked Nashville landed in mailboxes across the world, each one hand-signed, each envelope addressed in that looping Swift script. Fans realised the woman headlining stadiums was also scrolling their late-night confessions, cheering them on from a secret tab. The internet never felt smaller. Still, digital surprises weren't enough. She needed one more face-to-face power play. Gina sent a wedding invitation to an address she found on Google, half convinced it would vanish into corporate limbo. It didn't. Taylor couldn't make the ceremony, but weeks before the big day, she flew to Columbus for the bridal shower. No entourage, just bags of kitchen gear worthy of a Michelin chef, Le Creuset, a gleaming stand mixer, monogrammed aprons. They played party games, iced cupcakes, and dished about cold feet. Later, Sophie, nursing Valentine's Day loneliness in New York, received a casual text, "Come over and bake with me." Soon she was in Taylor's apartment, dusted in flour, licking batter off a spoon like they'd been friends since grade school. When critics ask why she does it, she shrugs. Life events matter. And yet her most unbelievable gesture was still waiting in the wings. Some artists reserve living room concerts for charity auctions and billionaire birthdays. Taylor reserves them for people who remind her why she writes songs. Actor Sean Dooley was recording a children's charity album when the studio door cracked open, and there she was, ready to harmonise on Never Grow Up. On other occasions, she's tiptoed into fan apartments, guitar slung over her shoulder, waking roommates with the soft strum of All Too Well. No stage lights, no mammoth PA, just 6 strings, a stool, and the stunned silence that descends when dreams materialise. In those tight quarters, the gloss of celebrity evaporates. All that's left is a storyteller and the souls her stories touched. One evening, after playing a lullaby in a cancer ward, she whispered to a nurse, "Music is a shortcut to sunlight." And with that, the countdown reached its peak. Taylor Swift's music may headline the charts, but it's her stealth generosity that headlines the human heart. From stuffing Christmas boxes to footing medical bills, from secret playlists to midnight doorbells, she's turned fan devotion into a two-way street nobody else dares to pave. Some call it savvy branding, others call it saintly. Maybe it's both. What's certain is this: each act leaves a ripple, a private legend retold at kitchen tables and hospital bedsides long after the encore ends. So next time you stream one of her tracks, remember somewhere out there, a stranger might be opening a surprise package, hearing a knock that changes everything, or finding their own story woven into a lyric. And that knowledge just might make the music sound a little louder.